Hi, I'm Steve Walters. Today I'm going to go through the, I have a Prenix. I'm going to show it to you here. So I have one of these machines here. I think many of you are very familiar with this machine. I'm going to basically go over an alignment with that machine and show you, down to the detail, how to get the really important alignments you need to get, okay? Now, with this machine, I have taken all the mirrors out. I've removed them from everywhere. They're actually sitting right there on my bed. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over with this machine is to get the right alignment. I actually wrote it on the bed so you can see it here while I'm doing everything. The very first thing you have to do is get the bed level. The next thing you have to do is get the head square. And most important, which I'm going to go over this and show this more than anything, you align the beam to the axis of travel, X and Y, not the mirrors, okay? So, and that's one of the reasons why I felt it was good to take the mirrors out completely, to show you how to forget about trying to make your beam hit the mirrors. You want to get your beam to go to the axis of travel. Okay, so a couple of things I want you to see first. For those new to this machine, okay, I took the mirror out. And by the way, I bought this tool right here at Lowe's. Okay, it is for these types of holders, okay, to unscrew these. But I also noticed that back here on the number 2 mirror and number 1 mirror, you can't get this tool on there unless you actually take the mirror out, unless you remove the whole entire holder. So these are really good. These are tight. I don't really know how easy it would be, or if you're gonna horribly mess up your alignment if you try to get it out while you're inside the machine, either using, an Allen wrench to try and wiggle it out. Another thing is, I don't think you can really get the mirror in straight. When I looked at this mirror, when I looked at this is the original Molly mirror, and it already has my fingerprint on it, so I can touch it. When I put it down in there, it doesn't actually, it can sit off real easy, and it takes a little bit to get it into the bottom, into that area where it's supposed to fit. There's actually a step in this hole, and there's a bigger area and a smaller area, and I would say if you did this mirror like this, where it's sitting vertical, it would be probably real easy for it not to be in there all the way. And then when you put this in, with it sitting vertical, I can't imagine that would be the best way to put the mirror in. It could sit crooked. You might not get it real tight. Definitely putting the mirror in like this is going to be the best. Make sure you have it in the bottom. Put this in, and then use this tool to get it tight. Okay? Now, that being said, let's look at mirror number 3. If you're wondering how to adjust this mirror, the 3 screws, what I've noticed is these do nothing but push against springs. Let me show this to you. Again, I think it's best to put the mirror in with this in your hand, so I loosened these set screws. These are your tightening screws, so whenever you get your mirror set, you tighten these down and it holds everything in place. But until then, you have springs here, and then this is your mirror holder. I'm gonna take one of my new mirrors right here. Don't want to get my finger oils on there. The finger oil will heat up when the laser makes contact with the oil and damage the coating, which is also why you don't want to use anything but acetone, pure acetone or pure alcohol to clean it. It evaporates. You don't want any kind of other oils on there. Okay, so I got it started. I'm going to, let's see. Let me get it started. And one of the reasons I hate cleaning lenses the way, and the reason I have my lens cleaning system the way it is, because my fingers are too big for this process. And it's, okay, so I got it on there. Now we'll get my tool. I'll stick it in here like this. And just snug it a little bit. Now this is not zinc selenide, so it's not as sensitive to distortion. It's there. Okay, and I can put these on. Okay, and now I'll go. Now, the other thing, I'm going to show this to you. I'm going to pick up the camera and show it to you. I don't like starting with the gap like that, because with that means the entry point's going to be really high. And if you start with it all the way down against the table, against the flat portion, that'll put your entry point at the lowest possible place. So now as I start to make my adjustments, it's all coming up. And you want to keep that mirror as close as to this flat spot as possible. So that's where I like to start, and then when I make my adjustments to get this shooting across right, I like to only raise it as little as possible. Okay, so now I'm going to go over those 3 points, which are bed level, head square, and beam to the axis of travel, not to the mirrors. Okay, so the way this is mine. This is my head, my lens tool. Now the barb is there, so I like to disconnect this here, so I can remove my lens head and switch lenses real easily. Okay. So with this system that I have, a AAA battery is your perfect focal point from the nozzle. So this sets your focal point. I hold a very tight tolerance on that. So let's see this. So we want to get the bed level. Now I've already done some preliminary testing on this. I know this hasn't been leveled at all, not once. This area here is higher than the rest of my 4 corners. Okay, and the way I checked that was pretty easy. I brought this over here. Okay, I bring it up. Now, if this was my work piece that I wanted to engrave, I could easily move it into position like this. This battery is now just barely touching between the two, so that will be the right focal point. So that now I would like to get all 4 corners to just skim through with this battery, and the way I have to do that is down here inside the under part of the machine. Let me show that to you. So the way I'm going to have to do that is inside here. Okay, so I have this idler pulley right here. I have it loose. Okay, now I can turn these screws individually. You know, maybe get a rag and make slight adjustments, and that'll move the 4 corners of your bed so that it's level. And once it's level, you'll move this back, get it to snug, and then tighten it down. Okay, then your bed will be level. The next step is getting the head square. Close this door. So let's assume the bed is level. Okay. Right now it's not coming. Okay. The next, you can see on this head how easy it is to not have it square. And the way I want to get that square is with something like this. Okay, and this was not square to begin with. You check it here. Now the bed has to be level, or this won't give you a good reading. If the bed is not level, you'll get a bed and level, and it'll give you like that, and the head might be square. So, but if the bed is level, you'll measure it, and then it'll be here, and you want to check it here too. Okay. The problem is checking it in this direction. I really can't change anything. The only way to fix that is to take the head off. Like that. And then get this part square. And you get that square by loosening these 4 screws here, getting it square, check it here, check it on this side, because there could be a little bit of a warp in that piece of sheet metal, and then tighten the screws down. Okay. Now the bed isn't level still, so there's no real reason for me to do that right now, until I spend the time to get the bed level. But after you get the bed level, you can put this on like this. Boy, these screws are small for my fingers. And then the washers. Okay. Now, I kind of like to push it. There's nothing for it to sit square again. So when you do tighten this down, you're going to have to, get it against this like this, and tighten it down individually. Okay. There's a lot of play in those slotted screws, and they can be. Now this is going to be important only to the level where that's how straight your cut's going to be. The actual alignment here is going to be done with the alignment tool that I have, and that'll get the laser beam to enter the lens at 90 degrees. But in order to get your cuts straight, if this head was not square and you put my alignment tool in here, if you're going to hit the laser, your laser's going to hit my lens at 90 degrees in dead center. But it might cut crooked because the head isn't straight or cantered. Okay? So I'm going to go through now and probably do some fast forwarding, but I'm actually going to do some alignment of the bed and try to get this thing right. I'll do some fast forwarding here. Okay, that's it. I got the bed level, and I think I got it as good as I can. It's basically as close as it can be. It's based on one tooth of movement in the belt, so I don't know if there's any such thing as actually getting it perfect, but it is very, very close right now. So I'm going to go ahead and lower this down, because it's tightened up. Everything looks good. I'm going to get the head square. Okay, and that's going to mean I take this out. I'm going to remove that. The first thing I want to do is get the head off and get that bar straight first. Yep, so I'll take these screws out. And right now we're getting the head square. First thing we're going to do is just, I can look at it, I know it's not good. Let me get that up a little bit more. I'll get it over top of the center of this gusset inside the, it looks pretty pretty far off right here. Okay. Let's see if I come here. Yep, just as far off over here. Good. So it's this Allen wrench. And this now moves pretty easily. So let's get this square. Okay. Now, again, this isn't going to affect how well your lens cuts. This is going, because we're going to line the lens using my alignment tool. So that means the lens is going to cut perfect. This is only going to affect how straight your cuts are going to be in the y-axis. So when it moves in the y-axis, are those going to be angled, you know, one way or the other because the head's turned. Okay, so that's square. Let me tighten them up nice. Go through all of them twice. Okay. And I'm not using the long end of the wrench, just using the short end of the wrench, because again, I don't want to strip any screws out, and if that happened, it would be really bad. Now I'm going to get this square. Okay, let me take a look at this. I'm going to move that so I can get a full travel of it up and down. Let's see, really look at it long ways here. Now we get that really square. Again, this is not going to affect how the lens works. Your cuts will be straight and square. This will only affect whether when you cut through your material, whether it's angled one way or the other. We're going to align your beam with my tool up to the lens. It'll be perfect. I do get this snug. It's not going to move now. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is put my alignment tool in. And on this machine, it is a 16.15 millimeter, the same as all of the lens tubes that go in there. So, bubbled up. Try to get good ones. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna do this. This is how you line it up to the axis and not the mirror. You don't need a mirror in there at all. Screw the mirror, okay? We're gonna line this machine up. We're gonna line it up to the x-axis. That's what's important. That's what we're gonna do, okay? So let's get it close. Okay, I like to mark it. Okay, as a reference dot right here, somewhere in here. Okay, and then we move it away. Okay, and then I'm going to move it so that it hits that dot. Now we're only loosening screws. Okay, so let's see how that looks. I got it where it was kind of near, and It's a little bit higher because I moved it up. So let's reposition that. Let's mark that again. And again, it doesn't matter so much that I mark it in the right spot, but I give myself a reference to go by. And that Sharpie seems to be dead. And give myself a reference here. Let's see. It's slowly going down. I'm going to raise that up again to that. And again, you just do this again and again and again until it doesn't move. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you something here, because every machine I've ever seen, I've done this, except for one machine. Okay, let's see. You can see my tape there, right there. Okay, you can see the tape. I'm gonna move this in closer, and watch how the dot moves around. Okay, now it's close. Now it's far. It's getting further, further, further. Okay, the dot kind of moves around. It kind of oscillates around. And let me tell you what that is. That's this rail right here. This thing, believe it or not, it goes like this a little bit as it comes down from one end to the other. Maybe even the thing on my LC goes a little bit like this as it goes down, and that's why that dot is walking around. It's really pretty good. Now, that is how you align your mirrors to the axis and not the mirror. Okay, now I'm going to tighten these down. Okay, because this is perfect. We are not going to move this at all. Okay, we've triangulated an angle across here to get that thing right, and it's perfect. We don't want to mess it up. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we probably want to look at is where the laser comes out here in this head. So I'm going to continue that. Let me get this. Double check that. Give myself a reference. Because when I tightened those screws up, it seemed to maybe it moved it a little bit. But no, it's all over it. Maybe it's a little bit low, but it's actually really right there. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is, just as a reference, I'm going to show you what this looks like here. Okay. Okay, there's your red dot. That's where that thing needs to enter. Right here. Okay. You can see the hole. Okay, it's pretty close to center. That is the entry point now. Your beam is lined up. This mirror is coming straight. It's going straight down the middle of the lens tube. Now we want to put mirror 2 in. Okay, I think you can see that just fine. We want to put the mirror in line with the beam. So this is our mirror. It's going to go here. There's no mirror in there now. We're going to move this around in this slotted hole so that now that red laser hits the center of the mirror. Again, we're going to take this mirror and we're going to put the mirror in with my tool. I want to make sure it goes in straight, sits in the right spot. And I'm going to show you one more modification that I made. I'm going to let my finger oils touch the surface of that mirror. Okay, I think I'll say this, not that it's guaranteed, but the best way to make sure this is actually sitting in there correctly is that it's sitting vertically. You shouldn't be afraid to do alignments. Once you understand them and get them, they're a good thing, okay? To go through and, I sell a cleaning kit which has a 6-inch long pieces to go, Q-tips to go and clean these, touch these mirrors up every day after you do them. And my fingers are just too big for this damn thing. Again, why I hate cleaning lenses. My fingers are too big. Okay, I got it started. Let me get my tool. Okay, the mirror's in there really good. These are nice. We use this both for burning with the red laser, for burning the CO2 laser, and the regular laser. You put your tape here. Works really nice. Let me show you another thing that I've done. Because what I didn't like about this machine, I made this. Okay? What I didn't like about this machine is these slots are enormous. This is the washer they gave me. Look at this. By the time you get your mirror lined up to hold it properly, it's an oversized washer. It's too big for the screw, only because the slot's so big, and the slot's so big when you actually tighten it down, it bends the washer. So what I did was I made this. Okay, it's going to sit in here and act as a washer, and I'll screw everything into that. So let's put this here. And again, this is not easy for me at all, because truly my fingers are just not the right size for this thing. So I'll get this up here. Get that in there. Get the screw started. So it doesn't drop in the machine. Okay, got that one started. The other screw. Here it is. Make sure I got the right Allen wrench. It's good. Okay, this isn't easy for me. The holes are set up the right distance, and I've actually thought about seeing this problem and having to deal with it because I have this machine. I've thought about making this tool. I have a machine shop here. I make everything for this inside the United States, so I have a machine shop. I can make those pretty easily. So now I want to put the mirror in the right location so that it goes through the hole over there, hits the center of the mirror, okay. Now for that, I'm going to kind of go like this, where I want it to hit, so I can kind of see where it's. I hate putting tape on the mirror. I hate it. The tape doesn't come off very good. Okay, so you know, getting the general location, you know, we can do that. Now we can tune it up, and I can make sure it's going through there really nice. Because it's just about getting it close. I'll adjust the screws to get it perfect. I really just want to get it close right now. And let's see if I can kind of do that. And this isn't fair. You people are gonna, with tiny fingers, are going to have a nice, easy day of this, and not me. Okay. That one, kind of tight. Required a lot of turns, and now that there's no washers that can bend, this thing really tightens up nice now, and it feels really good. Okay, let's just take a look. Don't really want to put tape over the mirror, so I'm going to stretch it across and see where I'm hitting. You know, and here's the thing, I'm going to show you this. Okay, it doesn't need to hit the center of the mirror, okay? It just needs to hit the mirror. That's good enough for this, okay? I can see where it's hitting here. No problems at all, okay? It's going out for the back. Now, we can make some adjustments here, and we'll do the same near and far. So I can bring it, you know, close. Okay, I can mark it. Okay, and I bring it further away. And watch it walk up. It goes up. Now I don't want it up there. I want to get. So now, again, I'm lining the. Lining the mirror up to the axis of travel, not the mirror, not mirror one. I'm lining it up to the axis of travel. Okay. This one here is a little tight. I don't think this is going to work. That loose. I'll need to get the right wrench to get that thing in there better. Okay, let's see now if we get that there again. Not worried about hitting the right mirror. I'm worried about hitting getting the beam to the axis of travel. It's still going up. Let me make some more adjustments. Let's see if that's going to be the right way. Right there, maybe. Okay. Oh, that looks really, really good. See, that's creeping up a little bit. Okay. Let me move this here so you can see this. Okay. Really no movement at all there. Okay. That means that red beam right now is perfectly in line with the axis of travel. Okay. All the angles that were a mistake with the third mirror now compounded because the distance is further. Okay, but you can see it, boy, it's just that axis of travel, that Y, it's just not, or the X-axis, it's not very, it's just not very straight along there. It just kind of walks all around. Okay. So the final thing we want to do, let's do two things now. That's near. Now we need to bring the CO2 laser and the red laser to the same point. Okay. Mirror 3 is here on my table. I have it right here. I haven't put it in yet because again, I'm not trying to get this whole thing set up to the mirrors. I'm setting everything up to the axis of travel. I got to position this mirror so that red dot and the CO2 dot hit this mirror in the same place. And then I take this mirror and I line it up with the axis of travel that is the Y. I can do it to the head, I can do it to the mirror 2, but I have to get, now the final adjustment is done to this mirror with the CO2 laser beam so that it now travels straight with the Y-axis, which will then, since this mirror's set and done, it's already set to work with the axis, and it's lined up with the axis already. So it doesn't need to be moved again. I can actually tighten that up, and I'm finished with that mirror. A lot of people who are really, really good at the scorch method of alignment tend to like to align mirror 1 up with the scorch method to mirror 2, and then line 2 up with a scorch method to mirror 3 to the entry hole. But then I suggest you run mirror 3 alignment using my red laser so that it is aligned not to your Z-axis, but it's aligned to the X-axis as well. So I'm going to do the rest of the alignment separate. I'm not the best at doing the scorch method, and I'll get it accomplished, and I'll try to show you how well it cuts. Thank you very much.